Alright, this is Souls Tycoon. This is a Bleach Roblox Tycoon, and I'm making this video as a guide because, one, the videos that are on this game are very limited, and two, I am waiting for a particular game to be released that has been on hold for past like fucking couple months. I don't know, but let's fucking get this shit started. Alright, so when you first load into the game, you have 6 characters to pick from, right? Your starting characters are Ichigo, Rukia, Byakuya, Yamamoto, Ulquiorra, and Grimmjow. At Rebirth 15, 20, and 25, you unlock Aizen, Gremmy, and Stark. These two that have question marks, they are from raid bosses. So this is Kenpachi. You get him with 100 raid tokens, which I'll get into that later. And Shinsui, he's the same thing. You need 250 raid tokens, right? The secrets. This is Bambietta. This is Aiskin. And this is Unohana. You get these from doing their individual missions. So Unohana, you have to do it from the Unohana quest. Aiskin, you have to do the Infinity Tower, and Bambietta, you have to get her from a from the what's called Invasion. From Invasion at wave 50 with a 5% chance. So a starting character that I would highly recommend you play as is definitely Ichigo. Because out of all these characters, I think only 2 characters so far have an awakening, and that's Ichigo and Aiskin, right? These 2 characters have incredibly broken awakenings if you can unlock them. They are very difficult to unlock, but if you play as Ichigo and you get ahead of him first, you can always play other characters and then go back to him, and you don't need to worry about grinding back up to getting his awakening or anything like that, so it's really easy to play through. So when you first spawn in, you're in your Tycoon, right? It's a generic Roblox Tycoon, right? Because it is still a Tycoon game, right? What you should do is, first off, you should go into the update log, copy this code part 2, and paste it into your settings so you can get at least 2 essences right over here, right? Essences are very important in this game because they can they're used to 1, reroll your weapon so you get a better weapon, and 2, to unlock more of your awakened moves. So like you can unlock your Volt Standing, your Bankai, or your Resurrection for if you're playing as a as an Arrancar, a Quincy, or a Soul Reaper. Once you redeem that code, you should get 2 essences, right? I would personally save 1 essence for your awakening, so you could, you know, use it at least so you wouldn't die during like doing boss raids or stuff like that. And the other one I would use to go to this shop right here, right? There should be 3 shops. So this one is like a Robux shop that you don't need to worry about. Titles, that's just is self-explanatory, and powers right here. If you just go all the way to the bottom, you can unlock this, which upgrades your flash step so you're much faster, and it is way more efficient to cross around the map, and makes traveling to like different areas and like bosses way much less of a hassle, and makes everything faster. But once you do all that, your first goal, instead of doing your actual Tycoon, you should fight a Soul Reaper. Fighting a Soul Reaper gives you a fuck ton of money. When I say fuck ton, you get like 100,000 per coin and like 30,000 souls per blue orb thingy. So look, right, watch my money. It is 100,000, and now it's gonna be 200,000. This is more than enough to get your Tycoon started, so you can start making your own money in like a fast and efficient way. But what you want to focus more on is your moves and your abilities, because you want to be able to kill them so you can grind for more for your Tycoon. So for me, these are very expensive because this is like one of the last players you can unlock, right? But for you, you would probably have like 50,000, 125,000, or like something like that, right? Really easy to get. Takes like 5 minutes of grinding maximum to get your abilities. Once you complete your Tycoon, at the very top of your Tycoon, you should have a upgrade that costs $3 million to buy, right? This would unlock your awakening, right? So for me, it would be a Volt Standing. So if I talk to him, it costs 1 essence, 750 million souls, and $3 billion to unlock my Volt Standing. Just a heads up, it is amazing to have a Volt Standing because it doubles your HP. It doubles the HP that you already have currently. So let's say you have 5,000 HP, you would get 10,000 HP. Your HP is capped at 12,500. Each time you rebirth, you get more and more XP. You get more and more HP. and you cap out at 12,500. So if you do use your Volt Standing, you would have a total of 25,000 HP. It's very good, but the downside is that you have to unlock your moves in order to use your moves in Volt Standing, or Bankai, or Resurrection. So what I mean by this is that if I go over to Askin, right, he has 4 abilities. He has Lethal Buff, Poisonous Surge, Gift Segment, and Gift Ring. These are the moves that you have without your Awakening. So I can go over to some Shinigami and use my Gift Ring, use all these moves, right? But the moment I go into my Volt Standing, I lose those moves, but I gain my Awakening moves. These moves can only be used in the Awakening, same as the vice versa, right? So if you don't have the moves unlocked, then you literally have nothing to fight with unless you have a weapon. But I doubt you have a weapon this early into the game so far. So just stay with me now, right? So now that I covered your Tycoon, your abilities, your power, your Awakening, and how you can what's called grind for your stuff, you want to worry about rebirths, because in this game rebirths are king. Because Hueco, it is 30 rebirths, I think. No, it's 10 rebirths. The hard raids, which are over here, they cost 30, and then over there it's I think it's 50. Yeah, it's 50 rebirths, right? But over here, this is the easy raids. So it's easy, medium, hard, and that's very hard, or extreme. I don't know which one it is, right? But the easy raids you can do off the rip, right? I suggest you do these with like a friend or like a full server, so you can so you can fight the bosses and get their stuff, right? Each boss, they have their own unique drop, which I'll get into later. So right here we have Grammy. So let me get rid of him real quick. But each time you kill a boss, you have a % chance of getting that item. So right there, I just got Grammy's item, right? They also have a drop of getting essence, souls, and money, right? These could be whatever they want. Usually you want to aim for essence and the item, right? The item, I'll get into that later, but you just do raids here. Over here, you can get Byakuya, Yamamoto, Grammy, Ichigo, and I think I don't know if I said Rukia already, but Rukia, and I think that's everyone. I think I'm not. Oh, Aizen, yeah, and Aizen. Or you can get all those items, right? After you progress more into the game, you would come back to the powers, because I think I said this before in the video, but you want to go here when you first start the game to immediately use the codes, then come here to what's called unlock a better flash step, right? But you want to come back because they do sell useful moves. Auto 50 is a good stun and could cancel some moves from bosses, which I think is a very good move. Because it could save your ass sometimes. It could not. It could fuck you over. It could not. It's like a 50-50 gamble, right? Kaido regen is really good because it's like the only regen move you get in the game. So unless you're Unohana, you don't get any other regen in the game. So when you're in a pickle, either you use your Awakening or Unohana or this. So you have like no options, and it's one of the best moves that you can get that isn't a character move. And then this move, I'd say it is a mediocre move only because it does little damage. It doesn't scale with your multiplier. And let me show you. It does only 600 damage. It is decently ranged. That's the good part about it. But what I like to use this for is that if I'm fighting a boss and let's say I die and I'm making my way back, right? To avoid the boss from regenning, I would use that move to gain distance without wasting my good moves. So instead of using this move, which does like 5,000 damage, right? Instead of that 5,000 damage used on the boss to like stop him from regenning, I could use this move. Sorry. I could use that move to stop the regen, then use my actually useful moves to do good damage and break the shield or like drain their health so they can get a second phase or kill the boss. In Hueco at 10 rebirths, you could fight Ulquiorra, Stark, Grimjaw, or if you're very lucky, it is a 5% chance it is the Vassal Lord Ichigo. I think he has 40,000 HP, and in his second stage he has 80,000 HP. So right now we have Ulquiorra, right? He has a 25% chance to drop his item, 20% essence, 30% everything, so So once you break his shield, like that, he starts recharging back up. So during this, he is stunned, but he could take damage to his main health bar. So if I do this, he takes a massive amount of HP. And every boss, they have their second. They have 2 stages. They have their first stage and their second stage, and they double their HP each time. So whatever HP they have, imagine that but doubled. So if they have like 30,000 HP as their base, get ready for 60,000 HP, because when they go into their mode, they get double their HP back. And whenever you kill a Hueco boss, in the middle there's a excuse me. But in the middle, there's a giant hot Goku. For every 5 bosses, it drops a bunch of loot, like a bunch of essence, souls, and money. And in there is a great way to grind essences, right? But back to what I was saying before, right? Vassalord Ichigo is a 5% chance to spawn, and his item is a cursed mask, which is his hollow mask, right? That mask is what you use to unlock Ichigo's awakening, right? In his awakening, I don't have that because I'm fucking a loser apparently, and I can't get it. Whenever he's close to dying, from what I've seen from my friends and seeing it on what's called on people just using it around, if you get close to dying, then it uses the awakening, and you have completely new movesets which do a ton of damage. But once your mode runs out, you die with it. Which kind of sucks, but it is a very good awakening for a very early game character, considering Ichigo is like a starting character and he can be very strong, like late game strong. So over here, this is the hard raid. You need 30 rebirths in order to do the raids. And once you go into, on the left side, you would see the raid store, right? This is why I was talking about the tokens earlier in the video. Over here is where you can unlock Kenpachi and then Shinsui, right? That's the item. So you can get the item from killing the boss, or if you were guarding the boss and you got the character before you max it out, which I'll get more into that later on. You could buy the items from killing extra bosses, so you could completely max out the character, which you would really need, because Kenpachi is how you get Unohana. I'll get into that in a little bit once I talk more about the raids, but these are also how you can buy rebirths too. A quarter of my rebirths are not from actually like pressing the rebirth button, like growing out grinding. I think I stopped rebirthing around like 90 and started focusing on raids, and I got up to this. So if you want to have like, if you want to focus more time on like playing the game than like, grinding your tycoon, then you could definitely play raids and use the tokens to rebirth, especially on characters you already have or don't want. Like Shinsui, he is 250 and he is a very hard boss to fight. I wouldn't expect you to like try and get him unless you're already like maxed on the game, because unless you have a full party to like fight against him, he's hella difficult to fight by yourself and not worth the grind. Like whenever he was in my private server, I just left the server and made a new server just to see I can get Kenpachi. But I think it's every 2 minutes a new character spawns. So it's either Kenpachi or Shinsui. It's like a 50-50 to be either one, right? Killing the character, you get raid tokens for their respective things. So Kenpachi gives you the red ones, Shinsui gives you the black ones, right? Once you get 100 tokens for Kenpachi, you're able to unlock him as a character to play. And for Shinsui, it's the same thing, but with his respective tokens. So you need 250 of the black ones in order to unlock him as a character, right? Over by the easy raids, so right over here, there is a store called Swords, where it's, you could re-roll your sword. So right now I have the Excalibur. There are different kinds of swords in this game, so let me show you. It's basically just gambling. You use 3 essence. I would highly recommend that you stay away from this at all costs. Do not use this until like you're comfortable with what's called your awakening. So like you have your Bankai and some moves so you could grind some bosses. Because if you're stuck with a really shitty sword, like Kisuke's Cane, then you're so fucked, because like it's a cosmetic at that point. It's a cosmetic. It's like so useless. But if you're lucky, you can get the anti-magic sword, which gives you a new move called Demon Cleave, which does insane damage that scales with your character, that I'll talk about later in the Limit Breaker stop. The Golden Guns is for Stark, and they give you an extra move, which is a Barrage. You could use the move for both in Awakening and out of Awakening. So it's just a new move in general. Dual Blades, I say, is really useless unless you want to get it. Like, you have to... It's only usable with Shunsui, right? With Shunsui, whatever the fuck. But to get him, you have to, like, grind the game like there's no tomorrow, which is very difficult, and especially him, he's like the strongest boss in like base, I think, like just the basic game, like no raids or anything. So he's like the strongest boss. The Jingo Sword is really good because it gives you 2 new moves instead of 1 new move. The 2 moves, they are very, very good. They do a lot of damage and can drain shield pretty good. The Excalibur is the one that I have on right now, right? What it does is that it gives you a very long iframe cutscene move, or whatever you want to call it, right? Where you blast a beam that does insane amounts of damage. I'd say it does like 40,000 damage probably, and could drain shield, but the cooldown is excruciatingly long. I think it's like 260 seconds long, which is like 4 minutes, like 3-4 minutes, right? So I say it's pretty decent, but like the cooldown definitely makes it pretty bad. The Almighty Sword is the best, is obviously I think one of the best weapons in the game, because it gives you 2 new moves that are really good and could drain shield and health really fast for bosses if you want to grind bosses. But I say save your essences until you have your awakening and like some moves, so you can actually grind and get your essences back in case you get something bad. So I'd save onto your essences, focus on your awakenings, and then re-roll your swords when you feel comfortable with getting ass, because you're most likely gonna get ass unless you're lucky as Shang at the Almighty. The Limit Breaker. So this I've been mentioning time and time again, saying level up your characters and stuff like that, whatever. What you do in this game is that you have to grind bosses of your respective character to unlock their item, right? So, like I said before, if I go into the Soul Society over there, right, and I kill Ichigo and I get Ichigo's item, if I'm playing as Ichigo, I could use that item to go into Limit Breaker. You could talk to her, and in here's your Limit Breaker. Your Limit Breaker, the amount of the item is what you need down here, right? Each level is 1 more than the last. So level 1 is 1 item, level 2 is 2, level 3 is 3, level 4 is 4, level 5 is 5. In total, you need 15 items to fully max your character. If you fully max your character, you do 2 times damage. That is an incredible fucking damage multiplier, because it is a permanent damage multiplier, so you do 2 times constantly, right? For Ichigo, I think he is the one that has an actual awakening, right? In order to get his awakening, you have to fully max out his Limit Breaker. So you need 15 Ichigo items, and then you need, I think Rebirth 50 or 60, and the Cursed Mask, which is a 5% drop rate from the Vastalord boss in Hueco, which is a 5% spawn rate. So it is very hard to get, but if you do get it, you unlock the ultimate for Ichigo, which does a lot of damage. For 50 rebirths, you're able to go into here, right? And in this, you're able to play 2 new game modes. The 2 new game modes are Invasion and Infinity Tower. I would personally go with Infinity Tower, because Infinity Tower is when you get Aeskin, right? And he is an incredibly broken character. Let me show you real quick. So on floor 5, you get 2 essence, 15 you get 5, 30 you get 10. At floor 50, you get Aeskin, right? From 50 to 75, you get 1 Deadly Essence, which is the item you need to use to upgrade his Limit Breaker. And then floor 100 is his ultimate ability. So, a heads up, you do not need to do all 25 levels to get his thing. Remember, it costs 15 to fully max out the character. So, you would realistically need to get to 65 to get a fully maxed out 2x damage Aeskin, right? Which is very good. I'm saying it's very good. If you want to stop there, be my guest. It is very good already. But if you want to get the ultimate ability, which makes him into a goated ass character. It is worth the grind. It is amazing. It is absolutely phenomenal. Because I'm about to show you the ultimate, because it is ridiculously strong. Alright, now I'm going to use the ultimate, right? He is basically at full HP in the second stage. So he has 80,000 HP and he is, you know, very, very tanky. That move hit, I think, 4 times. And it can almost one-shot, it can one-shot almost every boss. It is incredibly overpowered, and it is worth the grind all the way up to level 100. On the left side is where you see the invasions at. The invasions are where you could do wave-like levels with your friends or like other people in the server. So let me enter real quick. So in here is where you could grind essence, and you can also get Bamgeddon. I would recommend you get AoE moves, so like probably Ichigo is really good, Stark is really good. What is the Okior? His is hard to aim, but definitely AoE moves. So every 10 waves there's a boss. The first boss is Unohana. Second is Grammy. Third, I don't remember. I think it's Ichigo. I'm not positive. It's like wave 30. I haven't made it that far because I haven't been grinding this a lot. Because my main focus is to get Shinsubi, but the point is that you just go into here to grind essence if you're unable to grind bosses by yourself. These are very easy to do if you have friends or if you have a good AoE move. So these are like they get progressively harder each wave you go to, but they drop a ton of loot, All right. So let's say you did do all the hard raids and you're able to unlock Kenpachi. I highly recommend you max him out, because when he's maxed out, he has 2 passives that are gonna be very good. Over here, his HP increases 10% chance, 10%. Every time Berserker hits Unohana, there's a 5% chance that his HP increases by 10%. Each time Berserker is hit, he gains 1% more damage. And obviously the 2 times damage is very good. But I'm gonna give you a guide on how to kill Unohana and how to efficiently grind her so you don't go mentally insane. Because you have to kill her either 15 times or 30 times. I'm not doing the exact math because that's straight bullshit. But her item's a 50-50% chance, right? A 50-50% chance. Either you get it or you don't. 15-30 tries or less, because you get either 1 or 2. 2 is if you're very lucky, but minimum 15, maximum something, I don't know, probably whatever number if you're unlucky or not, right? And she is based off of the old combat system, right? So you do not have the weapon that you have. Let's say you have the Almighty. You cannot use the Almighty in the boss fight because it's off the old boss fight. I'll show you that very soon. If you go directly straight next to the Society thing, right? Right next to it. So if I go over to the gate, the easy raids, right? You should see Unohana to the left side, right? Just so you know, you cannot talk to her as any other character because she'll call you weak and you cannot do the boss fight, right? You can only do her boss fight if you have Unohana or if you have Kenpachi. Either or the characters you could do with the boss fight with. I wouldn't recommend you do the boss fight as Unohana because first of all, your Unohana's gonna be weak, so you can't do as much damage, and your Kenpachi is most likely maxed already, so you do more damage and you get more passive, so it's not worth playing as Unohana to fight Unohana. So I just say you stick as Kenpachi to level up Unohana, right? So here, let's go into the boss fight. Yes, this is what I mean. You don't have your sword and you can't block. So if I hold my block button, it doesn't work. You want to avoid that move? All right. She has 2 moves. She has that slash move and the dash move. Those 2 you want to avoid at all costs. You want to bait this move. You want to get hit as much as possible with that laser move, so you can stack up your damage. See, it's 2.08. That move does fucking damage, so you want to heal. You want to heal for that. Alright, one shot at 3,000, you want to play careful, right? Because I'm already pretty low HP. she could probably one tap me into oblivion if she uses her one move. So I'm gonna play very careful, right? So I'm gonna play range. So see, these moves, they have a lot of range. So you could play at a distance and avoid most of her attacks. Most of her attacks, at least. If she does her dash move, then you're so screwed. Alright, now she's below 25,000 health. So once she pops her Bankai, you want to pop your Bankai immediately. And then follow what I do, alright? You want to do these moves first because they take... I missed that one completely. You want to lure her around to these edges. So bring her around to these edges. Alright, avoid that move. Remember, these moves have insane range as well. They have insane range. Anarchy's Wrath is really good if you want to do, if she starts to heal, and you don't want her to, what is it called, regen. So this is her domain, right? What you want to do is immediately run to these edges, right? This solid block of, red, if you run out of it, the damage stops, she stops hitting you with the, slash attack, whatever it's called, right? You're outside of her domain. Use this move because it has insane range for you. Then use, your fourth move, because it does the most amount of damage. It does like 9,000 damage. Then this move, because this move is the longest one and it puts you in the most vulnerable state. Ooh, ooh, that's some damage. That's some damage. That's some damage. At this point, when you see your duration about to get low, it's okay to go all in on her because if you go, because you're gonna heal anyways. You're gonna heal anyways. So it's good to go all in. So like this, use this move, then use this move. You're able to use your other moves. Step back. Remember, you have range. If she isn't stuck, the best thing for you to do is to lure her on the edges and make her stay on the edge. Because if you have her in the middle with the domain, then you have like no place to escape her thing. So you're basically screwed. Want to get her low enough so you can have your Bankai back, but I think I can kill her before my Bankai comes back. So, because your end goal is to lure her. I mean, not lure her, but oh my god! Oh my god, that was too risky. That was too risky. But it's to stall her enough to get your Bankai back when she's low HP. So you just finish her off like this. And for the first try. Like anything? She didn't fully died yet. She didn't. Oh, there we go. I got Unohana's item. So, then over here, you go over to this. So what you want to do is that you want to actually collect these items. If you collect these items and like go to like a new character, the items trapped for that character. So let me show you. I have never played Klhjvdg before, so I'm gonna show you. If I collect all these items, all right, and I go to leave. I should not be mistaken. Yeah, I should not be mistaken. If I go over to Klhjvdg, yep, it gives you all of the the money from the boss fight. So it gives you a fuck ton of money for you to start off your Let's say you don't want to play Unohana. You want to move the items to like another character that you do want to play. Like you want to play Stark, Aizen, Visionary, like Ulquiorra, Yamamoto, Byakugo, Rukia, Ichigo. You can play whatever you want, and you can bring the loot over to that character, or you just bring it over to Unohana. That's it. All right, see ya.